My main critique of the art community right now is that people talk so much about sustainability. Do you hear that a lot? I hear it a lot in my scene. How do we make sustainable? And I think that's the wrong question to ask as an artist. The question you should be asking is, how the fuck do you set the world on fire for as long as you can and then go away and die? I think you should really be thinking about unsustainability as an artist, which is how do you burn up everything inside you that you have to give and then just go away? Go away. I think it's you know, I was really targeting people who were feeling disenfranchised or shut out of this, the art making system. These little idiosyncratic kingdoms that sprout up around the city, and they all have their cohort of artists, and you can never break in if you're a newcomer. So, you know, I was really targeting outsiders and people who really were at different points of their career. So you had people who were just beginning to make art and really had no contacts, and all they had was chutzpah, and I always loved that level of artist. We also were targeting kind of mid-career people, or people who had experience pulling down grants and doing fundraising and had worked in legitimate venues, and were just sick of that system. And the Home Theater Festival is really about bringing people back to the purity of that kind of innocence that you have when you didn't have an expected path to follow, when you were just kind of free to make work. And a lot of these mid-level artists or established artists would do the festival and go like, holy shit, I haven't done that in 20 years. Is that what it feels? I was like, yeah, this is what it feels like. And my philosophy is always, you know, art making, people take it way too fucking seriously, and it should always feel like you're 7 years old, hanging out with the neighborhood kids, and you're in a treehouse, and you're plotting a war against the kids in the other neighborhood. You know, that's how it should always fucking feel like. And so the Home Theater Festival has that kind of, you know, we take ourselves really seriously, but also not at all. And I think that's the line you have to follow. The city has actually a big infrastructure. They very deliberately support art spaces in neighborhoods. And SOMArts is always the most fun, whereas the other ones are so fucking boring. You know, if I had my way, I'd get rid of all the galleries and all the museums and all the performance art spaces, period. I'd wipe them all out. I think something dies when you create these kind of spaces that are only dedicated to art. It feels always to me like you're putting exotic animals in a petting zoo. It just already is contained, it's already always safe. That's why so much of my art is about being in the street.